Dear students, in this video we will be discussing about permanent tissues. Permanent tissues. In the previous videos, we have been discussing about different types of meristematic tissues. In this video, we are starting with permanent tissues. Before that, in the first video, we have seen one classification. Means entire tissues are classified into two groups. Broadly, tissues are classified into two groups based on a criteria, that is whether the cells are dividing or not. The cells having dividing capacity or not. This is the criteria. Based on this criteria, we have classified all tissues into two groups. The first group is meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue, which is having continuously dividing ability. Okay. Another group is permanent tissue. Permanent tissue. Here the cells do not have an ability to divide. That is a basic difference between meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Based on this criteria, whether the cells are having dividing capacity or not. Based on this criteria, we have classified all tissues into two groups. One is meristematic tissue, another one is permanent tissues. In the previous videos, we have been discussing about meristematic tissues. We have seen different types of meristematic tissues based on various criteria, and we have seen general characters of meristematic tissues, and we have seen different theories of apical meristematic tissues. Okay, in this video we will be discussing about permanent tissues. Permanent tissues. Okay, first of all, what is permanent tissue? What is permanent tissues? Permanent tissue, it is made up of cells that have lost the power of dividing. Permanent tissue, it is made up of cells that have lost the power of dividing and are differentiated to carry out various functions. Okay, the cells may be living or dead. Permanent tissue, it is made up of cells that have lost the power of dividing. Means they lost the power of dividing, and these cells are differentiated into various types to carry out various functions. These cells may be living or dead. Okay, this is basic definition of permanent tissues. Now again, permanent tissues also classified into various types. They are permanent tissues also classified into different types. Okay, based on a criteria, that is whether cells are one type or different types. means based on cell types, whether the tissue is made up of one type of cells or different types of cells. Based on this criteria, again we classified permanent tissues. Okay, now we will see what are those types. Okay, the first type is simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. Another type is complex permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissues again classified into two groups based on a criteria, that is whether the permanent tissue consists single type of cells or different types of cells. This is criteria. Based on this criteria, again we have two groups. One is simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. In simple permanent tissue, we can see only one type of cells. One type of cells. In complex permanent tissue, we can see different types of cells. Means within one tissue, we can see different types of cells. Okay. Here, in simple permanent tissues, again we have three types of simple permanent tissues based on a criteria, that is one is whether the cells are living or non-living. This is why one criteria. One more criteria is based on cell wall material. Okay, based on these two criteria, again we have three types of simple permanent tissues. There, the first one is parenchyma, second one is collenchyma, third one is sclerenchyma. Okay, total we have three types under simple permanent tissues. Here also, in the complex permanent tissues also, we have two groups again. One is xylem, another one is phloem. Here, the criteria is the transporting material. Okay, xylem is a water and mineral transporting tissue. Okay, phloem is food material transporting tissue. Okay, it transport water and minerals, it transport food particles. That is a criteria based on material what they are transporting. Based on that, we have this classification. Okay, xylem transport water and minerals, phloem transport food particles. Okay, this is the classification of permanent tissues. Now we will discuss one by one. First of all, we will start with parenchyma. Okay, parenchyma. 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 It is first type of simple permanent tissue. Okay. First of all, what are the general characters of parenchyma? Okay. First of all, parenchyma is the basic type of tissue. Basic type of tissue or fundamental tissue. Fundamental tissue. Because it is found in all plant groups like algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, it is found in all plant groups. That's why it is known as fundamental tissue or basic tissue. Okay. One more thing is, in algae, entire plant body is made up of parenchymatous tissue only. That's why it is believed that it is first evolved tissue. It is first evolved tissue because it is also present in algae. Only the tissue present in algae is parenchyma. That's why it is believed that it is first evolved tissue. From this tissue, remaining all means collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem, all are evolved. Okay, that's why it is a basic type of tissue or fundamental tissue. Okay, next point, shape of cells in the tissue. The cells of parenchyma usually isodiametric. Isodiametric means having equal planes like this. Okay, or like this. The cells are isodiametric. Shapes are vary, means they are found in oval shape or round or polyhedral or elongated. Elongated means sometimes the cells elongate like this with acute ends. Okay. Usually the cells are isodiametric, oval, round, polyhedral, elongated in shapes. Okay. Next, the cells arrangement in the tissue. How they arranged in the tissue means they are arranged loosely with intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces means whenever the cells arranged in the tissue, they leave few gaps like this. These gaps are called intercellular space. Intercellular spaces. Okay, like this. These are intercellular spaces. These spaces will be useful for the gaseous exchanges, okay, for the respiration, all those things. Okay. Next, and next point is cell wall. In parenchyma, the cell wall is made up of primary wall materials. They are cellulose, hemicellulose. Very important. In the parenchyma tissue, the cell wall is made up of primary wall materials. They are cellulose and hemicellulose. And one more thing, whenever they arranged in the tissue, the wall consists numerous plasmodesmata. Whenever the cells arranged in parenchyma tissues, they are always connected by plasmodesmata. It is very important. Okay. Here the cell wall material is cellulose and hemicellulose. These two are primary wall materials. Okay. And next, the cells of parenchyma consist prominent nucleus. Means the cell consists very prominent nucleus, and also number of vacuoles, or sometimes they all fuse together and form one big vacuole. Okay, like this. The cells consist prominent nucleus and also many small vacuoles, or sometimes all vacuoles fuse together and form one big vacuole. Okay, next point, cells are living. Okay, cells are living, so that it has an ability, that is totipotency. Very important, totipotency. All parenchymatous cells are living, so that they have an ability, that is totipotency ability or power. What is totipotency? Totipotency is the ability of a single cell to divide and produce entire plant. Means, for example, it is a single cell. The single cell has potential to give rise entire plant. Like this. Under specific conditions. That is also very important. The tissue culture is completely depend on this principle. Okay, this is basic principle to the tissue culture. The cells, the plant cells, having an ability to divide and gives rise entire plant body. Okay, that is totipotency. It is very important characteristic feature. Okay, now we will see types of parenchyma. Types of parenchyma. Based on functions they perform, we have different types of parenchyma. Okay, they are chlorenchyma, storage parenchyma, aerenchyma, idioblast, secretory parenchyma. These are only few. There are many types of parenchyma types in plant body. These are major types only. Okay. Now we will see what is chlorenchyma, what is storage parenchyma, what is aerenchyma, what is idioblast, and what is secretory parenchyma. Okay. First we will see chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma, it is a type of parenchyma only. The cells consist chloroplast, so that the cells perform photosynthesis. Means it is a type of parenchyma which consists chloroplast and perform photosynthesis is known as chlorenchyma. Okay. For example, mesophyll tissues of leaf. Okay, whenever we dissect, whenever we observe an anatomy of leaf, we can see mesophyll tissues. In the ventral surface, we can see tube-like cells called palisade tissue. In the center, we can see stele. In the dorsal side, we have another type of cells with lot of intercellular spaces called sponge tissue. These two together called as mesophyll tissue. These cells consist chloroplast. Okay, due to the presence of chloroplast, they actively perform photosynthesis. These cells are called chlorenchyma cells or chlorenchyma tissue. This is one type of parenchyma. Okay, next, storage parenchyma. Storage parenchyma. It is also a type of parenchyma only, which store reserve food materials. Based on the function, we are classifying these parenchyma. Okay, here a type of parenchyma which stores reserve food material is known as storage parenchyma. Okay, usually they reserve food materials in the vacuolar sac here, or sometimes in the cytoplasm also, whether here or here in the vacuolar sac. They reserve food material in the form of solid or fluid bodies. Okay, fluid bodies. Okay, this is about storage parenchyma. Next, arenchyma. Arenchyma. It is one more type of parenchyma. It is also a type of parenchyma which having lot of air cavities or air gaps or air spaces. Okay, it consists air cavities or spaces which help in the floating means buoyancy means to float. Okay, the tissue help in the floating in some hydrophytes. Whenever we cut a leaf of typha or petiole of nymphea, we can see tissue like this. The cells are arranged with lot of air spaces like this. In the anatomy, we can see more amount of air spaces like this. When compared with cell content and this air spaces content, the air spaces content will occupy more space. That is arenchyma. It will useful to store air. Okay, air, so that the plant body can easily float on the water surfaces. Okay, that is a function of arenchyma. Next, idioblast. Idioblasts are a special type of cells. They are useful to reserve some food materials. Whenever whenever we observe a normal parenchyma, it appear like this. It appear like this. In between this normal parenchyma, we can see few cells are modified to perform another function, that is storage function, like this. In the normal parenchyma, very few cells are modified and they perform other function, that is storage function. For example, all these cells perform photosynthetic activity, for example. But very few cells are modified and they perform another functions, that is storage. Okay, they usually store ergastic substances. What are ergastic substances? Resins, tannins, okay, tannins, etc. Okay, these cells are modified cells in the parenchyma tissue to store some ergastic substances like resins, tannins, gums, like that. Okay, these cells are called idioblast cells. Idioblast also a type of parenchyma cells only. Okay, this is all about idioblast cells. Okay, idio means peculiar, peculiar in the function. Okay, next, secretory parenchyma. Here name itself indicate that it is going to be secrete something. Okay, means a parenchyma which is secrete something. Okay, secrete something is known as secretory parenchyma. Okay, a parenchyma which is secrete something is known as secretory parenchyma. It may be latex, resins, gums, whatever it may be. Those cells performing secretory function, the tissue is known as secretory parenchyma. In the parenchyma, some cells are modified to perform secretory functions. Okay, these are the few types in parenchyma. Now we will see functions of parenchyma. Functions of parenchyma. The cells of parenchyma perform various physiological activities like photosynthesis, assimilation, respiration, storage and secretion, etc. Okay, the cells are involved in various types of physiological activities like photosynthesis, assimilation, respiration, storage, secretion, etc. Okay, next important point is in succulents, parenchyma tissue help in the water storage. It is also an example for storage parenchyma in the succulents like opuntia, aloe vera, agave americana, cactus, etc. In these plants, parenchyma can also store water for their future purposes. Okay, the type of tissue is known as water storage parenchyma tissue. It is also one function done by parenchyma. Okay, next, it is also help in the buoyancy. Buoyancy means in aquatic plants it will help to the floating. float because they have to expose to the sunlight. In the floating, usually in the floating helps, with the help of air and chyma, the plants can float on the surface of water. That is known as buoyancy. The buoyancy is only due to the presence of a special type of parenchyma, that is aerenchyma. Okay. Next, it is also help in the wound healing. Okay. Whenever plant get an injury, with the help of parenchyma, that injured parts will be repaired or regrown. Means in that particular sites, the parenchyma de-differentiated into meristematic tissue and form new cells. Okay, so that it will help to the regeneration or wound healing in the plants. Okay, this is one more important ability of parenchyma. Okay, this is all about parenchyma, their general characters and their types and their functions. Okay, thank you.